So we'll be starting with steganography. So next slide, please.
Yes, ma'am.
So we'll be understanding the main contents like what is steganography, where we are going to use it, why we are going to use it, how and when. Because the main funda here is that we need to understand what exactly the steganography is, in which all fields we are going to use this steganography. So next slide. So these are some of the contents that I'm going to cover in the steganography, the history, the case studies, the techniques that we are going to study in the steganography. Important technique, that is the LSP technique, which is mostly used in steganography. And then we are also going to compare the steganography and the cryptography, and then we are going to understand the techniques which are used by in the latest terms, which are combining the steganography and the cryptography. And then at the end, I'll be showing the demonstration of the techniques and the tools that we are going to use it for the hiding the data. Next, sir, please. So before starting with the steganography, I just want to show you a small video, which is so please play this video. This will just give you the introduction how the cryptography and steganography are related to each other, who is the boss of which technique, and who in steganography which all techniques we are going to exactly use. Yes, sir. So now you can close this video. So this video just told us that there was voice also in the video. I don't know, the voice did not come to the system. So it just told that steganography is one of the technique which is hiding the information, and there is one of the technique which is called cryptography, where there was a session that was there in the last session that sir took in the yesterday on cryptography. So we have steganography and cryptography side by side. So we have security systems. What is exactly the security system is that we need to hide the data or we need to encrypt the data. I just ask you one question. Anybody who is there who has not kept a password on your phone or on your laptop? Everybody, 90%, 90 to 95% people try to keep their password on their phone on their laptop. Why? Because we don't want somebody else to see our information. We don't want anybody to take our information. So we want to hide it, or we want to keep it in such a manner that nobody should be able to see that system. So that is mainly a security system. So a security system is divided into two parts, mainly the cryptography and the information hiding. In information hiding, we have a term called steganography and we have a term called watermarking. Cryptography, as Sir told yesterday, cryptography is what that we are trying to encrypt the data into some other form so that nobody should be able to understand that data. And steganography is what we are trying to do. We are trying to hide the existence of the data. ऐसा नहीं है कि we don't have the data, we have the data, but we are hiding that data so that nobody should be able to know that we have some data, so that it remains secure and nobody is able to detect that. So next slide. So what exactly the steganography is? Steganography has come from a Greek word which combines two words, which is known as stegno and another is graphy. Stegno means the covered part and the graphy means the writing part. That means that together combines and give us the word called covered writing. Now what is cover here? Cover means like when we used to send the data earlier, we used to send the letters, like we used to post the letters. We always kept in an envelope. So we have to put that data inside an envelope and we used to send it. So now here in this steganography, the covered part has changed. It can be anything that we learned in the later slides. So if what we are doing it, we are writing something and we are covering it. But what is in the steganography? We are not covering it. Everybody knows that we are sending the data and that is encrypted in some other form. We just don't know what the key is, but we are encrypting and we are sending it. But in the steganography, we are covering it so that nobody should know that we are sending the data. So next, please. So coming to the definition and the goal. Definition is that we are sending the data. When in the digital world or in the earlier world, we need to send the message. So whenever we're sending the data from one sender to the receiver, we have to send in the concealed format so that the existence of the data should not be visible and should not be present, so that nobody should be able to know that we are sending the data. The goal here is to hide. In the cryptography, the goal here is to encrypt and to secure the data. Goal here is also to secure the data, but in such a manner that the existence of the message should not be visible to anybody who is seeing the communication. So next. So the history, now coming to the history of the steganography, there were a number of things. Steganography is not the new term which is there in the world. It is not that has come recently. Cryptography is also not the word which has come recently. Steganography is the term that started in 1400 BC. That started in 1400 BC, and people used to communicate. As that was not the thing that people never communicated before, and that was not the thing that people never secured their data. They used to secure the data. They used to always secure the data, and they always used to yes sir, next slide please. History. So they used to secure the data, and in what manner they used to secure? Earlier the people, when they have to send the message in the history in the 440 BC, they used to shave the head of the slave, and they used to write the message in the form of tattoo, and whenever the hairs grew up, then they used to send that person to the destination, and again the person head was shaved and the message was revealed. So whenever that person who was going from that source to destination, on the way nobody was able to know that message is being sent. But in the cryptography, we know that the message is being encrypted and it is being sent. Like for the banking sites, whenever we are writing our passwords, that password gets encrypted and that password is going to the destination. We know that the password is getting encrypted. But whenever we are sending in the form of with the help of steganography, nobody knows that the data is inside the head, inside under the hairs. Next, please. So then again, the requirement of the communication was increasing. Steganography was taking the lead and it was developing to the new levels. So at the time of World War I and World War II, then also the people have to communicate to whom which country to be attacked on, who all have to be attacked, and so with the help of that, those messages have to be communicated, and those messages were communicated with the help of this invisible ink. So by this image also you can see that we are writing something on the paper, but that message is not visible. When this message was transferred to the destination, there was some ink, there was some solution that was applied on that paper, and the message was revealed. As you can see on the right side image, there was some solution that was applied on that paper, and the message, whatever that was written with the invisible ink, was visible. So these are some of the methods with the help of which the people we used to communicate. Next, sir. So another method was a micro dot. You can see this image as a camera. There is a small camera which has some open thing, kind of a thing. There it is mentioned that this is a camera. With the help of this camera, the small dotted portion that you can see on the left hand side, the bunch of micro dots, they were applied so that it was the font size of the message was reduced to such a level, it was shrink to such a level that it was understood as a dot. It was not understood as a message. So you can see on the rightest side, there is a message. Whenever it was reached to the destination, they were used to zoom it and see whatever the message that was written at the with the help of dot. So people, how did the people use in the earlier stage? There was a text message. People used to send it, and at the end of the text message, there is a line of dots at the end, and nobody was able to recognize whether what is the actual message, the main text that is written at the top or the dots. So the person who is receiving the message knows that the message is in the dots, and he used to zoom it and he used to see what exactly the message is. Next, please. So other method that people used to use in the earlier time, well, these are some all the case studies that people used to do. There people used to send the letter and there was a postal stamp that was put on the envelope. Now also we used to do it when we send a courier or something else. So how used to people do it? They used to write the message behind the postal stamp. So message, nobody knows. We are not going to remove that postal stamp and see what is written. So nobody was able to detect. So people were used to write the message at the back side of the stamp, and that too with the very small text size, so that nobody is able to recognize that there is a message inside that. Next, please. And the other method, like here, there is another application that is being used in the history. That was like people used to send the text message, and inside the text message they used to hide the actual message. Now with this text, you are not able to recognize, you are able to read the message, but on the it was decided that whatever the message that is written in the red is the actual message that has to be delivered at the destination. But we are not going to color it as a red, but we have decided that every fifth letter is a part of a message, a secret message which has to be revealed at the destination. So if you can see, every fifth message, every fifth word is the contains the message. I'll show you the next in the next slide. You can see. So next slide, please. So this is the message. Like this is the method that we used to send it in the earlier time. That every person I meet seems very mad at lots of people. Out of every 10 people are angry. Today I am sad. So this is the normal message that I'm sending to anybody. So nobody will be able to detect what the actual message is. Next slide, sir. So now you can see in the next slide that I have selected every fourth word as a secret message. So I have decided between the sender and the receiver that the fourth word will be taken as a secret message. So you can see, meet at 8:10 tonight. So this was the way how people communicated in the earlier times, and or used to send the secret message to the destination. Next, sir. So this is the simplest block diagram that we can see here, the steganography, the basic block diagram. I'll just explain you what this block diagram tells us. That we have always, whenever we are encrypting or whenever we are hiding the message, we need some algorithm. So we need algorithm to cover the message. Like earlier stages, there were the microdots, invisible ink, and the shaving method and other method that they were used. But now the technology has improved, so we need some algorithm so that the algorithm can help us to hide the message inside with the help of the technology. So the message that we have to send, that is the hidden message, and that has a cover that I told you, that there will be a cover like envelope inside which I am going to hide the data. And I am going to apply a algorithm which is going to embed both the cover and the hidden message into each other, so that nobody is able to recognize. This will form a single file, and at the destination, when the message is received, we are going to apply a reverse algorithm or the extraction algorithm, with the help of which the hidden messages revealed and the cover messages revealed. So I don't need the cover at the receiver side, I just need the information. I'll be using the information and will be able to see what exactly the secret message that has been sent. So you can read the last line here. The cover provides a host for transporting, because I cannot send the message directly from the source to destination. There has to be a cover and inside which I need to hide that. So next, please. You can stop me anywhere whenever you feel like that I'm going fast, because I'm trying to go it fast because we have already wasted some time. So you can stop me whenever you want. You can ask me if you want to ask anything, right? So coming back to the types of cryptography, so we have understood that we have a secret messaging, and secret messaging can be divided secret forms of messaging. One is your cryptography, another your steganography. So the steganography is again further divided into two parts, which is called linguistic and the technical steganography. Next, sir, please. Steganography is basically that we are writing the messages with the help of natural language, that we are unsealing it, the message, a secret message, with the help of the natural language. Natural language means we are writing in the form of the English language that we are writing. We are making the language as a cover, so that cover becomes in such a manner that nobody is able to see the message. Like it will be hiding the message inside a language with the help of the symbols, the signs, the icons, the space, and the font size. So we can write the mathematical formula, we can add a symbols in between, so that, and we'll be hiding that information in the that particular symbols, spaces, font size, and comma, like plus sign, minus sign, subtraction sign. So we are hiding. That is the linguistic steganography. We are going to study the technical steganography. Technical steganography includes different technical techniques which help us to hide the data inside the different covers, and with the help of the invisible ink and the micro dots were also the methods which were able to hide the data that were done in the earlier stage. But now the technology has improved. We cannot use this method, and these are very old-fashioned methods, and everybody will be able to find out what exactly we are doing. So we need such techniques so that such algorithms that nobody is able to find out that we are hiding the data. So we are going into technical steganography because technically we are going to hide the data. Next, sir, please. So again, the technical steganography is further divided into two parts. One is your cover, and another is your method. Cover can be my image, it can be my audio, it can be my text, it can be my video. What does the cover exactly means? Now, I have to hide some text, I have to hide inside some image, I have to hide the text inside the audio, I have to hide that text inside the text. Text example that I've already shown you, that we are hiding the text inside the text. So these can be formed as a cover inside which we are going to hide our information. So if we are hiding the any information inside the image or the audio, that helps us, that helps people to not to recognize the actual data. Like for example, what we are doing in the audio, there are wave files, there are MP3 files. What we are doing, we are sending the audio file to any somebody. Like we are messaging, or we are sending through a mail, or we are downloading a audio file from internet. So that message has some audio, but in that audio there are some messages that are there in the form which are not recognized by the other person who is not a part of this secrecy, who is not involved in the part of secrecy. Similar manner, there are different covers like video also we send some message, and we can hide some message so that nobody is able to recognize. Similar manner, we have an image which we are going to focus on this presentation or this session, the image steganography. The image is image in which we are going to hide the data. So image has some methods. All these texts, all these covers have some methods which are known as spatial domain and the frequency domain, under which we are going to hide the data. So I'll come back to the spatial and frequency domain. So there are different methods in the spatial domain, like least significant bit and the other methods that are there. Frequency domain, where we are going to use the different frequency domain, like for discrete cosine transform, the Fourier transform, the discrete Worst-Hartwig transform. There are different number of transforms that are there, and in each cover we can use any of these domains like spatial or the frequency domain, and we can hide the data inside that image steganography. Next, please. So now, a small question to you: Why not? Why there are many different cover formats, like I told you, like there is a video, there is audio, there is text. But why are we only focusing on images? Why are we only making the cover as an important or a popular part of sending the information? I just want to know it from you people, anybody who can answer, that why are we using the image as a common source or to transfer the information or for hiding the information inside the images? Why not text? Why not audio? It's not like that we are not hiding inside the text or in the audio or in the video, but the common method and the famous and the popular method that we normally use is for images. Can anybody answer? Let's make it interactive. You people also ask, and I can also ask, so that we can interact properly and we can gain much knowledge. Anybody, anybody who is interested in asking, telling me the answer. You can also write in the chat box if you want. Why only images? Why we are not studying the audio steganography? Why only the image steganography? Anybody? Okay, so I'll just tell you, easier to implement. Okay, thank you, Shailesh sir. Easier to implement, yes, it is easier to implement. I'll just ask you a small question. Whenever we go somewhere, in what we try to click number of pictures. When we are trying to understand anything, when we are messaging each other, we try to send images, and mostly we are not writing the text. We are just forwarding the images that we have got on the WhatsApp. So mostly the images are the one of the thing which we are downloading from the internet, and that is the maximum source of information that are preferred. Yeah, right, Shalesha. Images are very common and they are preferred because they have a structure in such a manner that it can be transferred very easily. It has the smile, the size of the image is not that big that we cannot transfer from one source to destination. Plus, most of the things that we are doing with the form of images. Every time, the famous thing is the selfie that we are taking, the images that, the photos that we are clicking. It is a digital world. Everything that we are doing is in the digitally, and we are transferring the image. The barcodes that are there in the Paytm and the other thing, what are there? They are again the images. That is easier for us that is easier, and that is commonly being used by everybody. So it becomes the easiest source to hide the information. We can hide in the text, but text again, there's the text which is again data is visible in that. But if I talk about image is a common source of transferring the information. I normally, whenever I chat with my friends, I transfer an image. Does anybody able to identify that there is a data inside that? So image is a common and a popular source because it is commonly available, and there are millions and billions of images that are available on the internet, on the social media, on the Facebook also. We are uploading the images. We are not writing the text. We are uploading the images. Instagram also we are uploading the images. Snapchat we are uploading the images. So what we are doing, we are again dealing with the images. So everything, mostly the 80% of things that we are dealing is we are dealing with the images. And because that is why it is a common source of transferring the data, in hiding the data inside the images. Next slide, please. So I've already told you, this is the flood of electronic images. So we are using the images because digitally the image can be transferred very easily. With the high speed of internet, we can transfer it. Images have very small size. They are not very big like videos, and audio have a larger size as compared to images. So it becomes difficult, and people do not mainly communicate with the help of video and the audios. In the text also we deliver the message, but they are very less used, and it is easily to identify inside the text. And it becomes a good carrier to transmit the secret message. Another important reason why we are using the images, that is the noise, because whenever we are transferring the image from one source to destination, there is a noise that gets added inside the image. That gets inside the that becomes a part of the image. As Preeti ma'am in the yesterday's session also, she told that there's a noise that is there in the image. There are some edges, there are redundant information that is there in the image. So we can use that, we can misuse, I'll specifically use that word, we can misuse that information. We can misuse that noise in such a manner that nobody is able to recognize that I am sending something inside the image. Because everybody knows, because whenever I have to transfer the image, the image from one source to destination, the noise will get added to that image. There will be noise and there will be redundant bits, like Preeti ma'am yesterday also told that there are redundancy in the image. The bits are being repeated. The intensity of the image is in some portion is similar. So we can misuse these terms, we can misuse this things in the image, and we can hide the data inside these noise, these edges, your intensity, and the form of the in the image. Next, please. So now coming to the image technography, that is the important thing that we have to study. This is the main session that we are going to understand the image technography. This was the whole background that we studied about this technography. That technography is basically what we are hiding the information, and cryptography we are encrypting the information. In cryptography, again I am repeating that we know that the information is being sent, but steganography, we do not want anybody to know that information is being sent. That's why we are applying a cover to this, so that cover makes it invisible to anybody who is seeing the message on the way. But in the cryptography, when we are sending the message through a channel, everybody are sitting at the channel like the Eve is able to identify that messaging is being sent, but we do not know what exactly the message is. Here we have to hide the existence of the message. So covered image, the cover that we are going to take in this technography is image. Image is the cover that we are going to take in this session. So image is a cover which is going to hide the data that we are going to send. That is the whatever the message that we have to hide. We are going to hide inside the image. You can see a below image. There is a text that is there in the form of yellow pages, and then that is kept in a tijori. We call as tijori, that we are keeping inside the tijori, and then whenever the message has to be revealed, the things are taken out from that box and is being shown to everybody, all to the concerned people. So the formula that we are going to use here is the cover medium, that is the image here, or you can take it as some other medium if you're talking about. It can be text, it can be video, it can be your audio. But here we are talking about image. So cover medium here is my image. Then I have the hidden data, and then I have the Stegno key. Stegno key is my optional. It's not necessary that in each algorithm I'm going to use the Stegno key. Stegno key is basically the key that is being decided between the sender and the receiver, and it can be possible that has to be sent in between, or it is possible that we might not use this key to send the message. It can be only the cover medium and the hidden data, and at the end where we are receiving the message, we will be receiving the Stegno medium, that is the final image or the final data that has been sent, where which has combined the cover medium and the hidden data, and it will be showing only the single data, which will not show the hidden data till the time I don't unhide the data by the extracting, by applying the reverse or the extraction algorithm. Next, sir. So this here I've used my own image for hiding the data. So this is the cover image, the left side, my own image that I've used. This is what doing. This is the image where I'm going to hide the data. You can see in the image there are number of. I'll come to that. There is number of things that are there in the image. So I'm using a cover medium which as my image, and there is a secret message or the hidden data that I want to hide inside this image that I've written. I am taking HTTP at PI Jaipur. So I am going to hide the data inside this cover medium, and the actual image, the final image that I'm going to get, this Tego medium, that is this image on the right hand side, which shows that this is hiding the data which I have hidden inside my image. So it's next step. So it's very difficult to find out the difference between these two images. So we can see both the images. This is the image which are on the left hand side and on the right hand side. Both the images are looking like exactly the similar images, but they are exactly different. They are different because this right side image is hiding the data, and it has hidden that data which will not be visible to anybody when I'm sending that data. Next, sir, please. In the next slide also you can see there are two images. Can you see any difference in these two pictures? Can you identify that there is any difference? No, we are not able to identify by the normal eye. IA will not be able to identify with whether there is a difference in the image or not. Detecting this technography inside the image is also very difficult. Now, this is also one of the reasons why we are using image, because in the audio or in the text, it becomes it we can see there is change in some text, but when we are talking about the images, it becomes difficult to find out or to identify or to detect or to differentiate between the two images. Till the time the person does not know what the actual image is, you will not what was the actual image, he will not be able to recognize that there is a change in the image. So if I'm comparing these two, you might see it by zooming it or by comparing each and every pixel that there is a difference. But otherwise, you will not be able to identify till the time you are not able to compare both the images, or you are not able to see the exact thing. The major challenge is to stop the size file from increasing. Yes, exactly. This is also one of the challenge that we want that, as mentioned by the sir, that we do not want the size should be increased. Yes, we do not want. But whenever we are adding the information to the image, the size of the image will be increased. The left side image, if I take that this is 2 MB, the right side image will be with the greater size, like 2.5 MB. The size will be increasing because I am adding something to it. I am adding the text to it. So it will obviously increase the size of the image. So I need to, that is the biggest challenge that I need to maintain. But the larger the size of the image, the more the content that I'll be able to hide inside the image. If this content is large and the image is small, that will become difficult to hide the data. So I have to take care whenever I'm hiding the content inside the image. I have to select the image carefully with the proper intensity and with the proper size of the image. Next slide. So why we are using, how we are using digital image, you can see on the right hand side, the digital image is a grid of pixels. I have taken an image which is showing the pixels of the image. It has already been cleared in the previous session that what is the digital image, how the pixels are there in the image. So you can see each box that is there represents the pixel. That is your one pixel has your 8 bits. That has already been discussed in the previous session. So if I'm talking about the black and white image, each pixel has 1 byte, that is 8 bits. And if I'm talking about the colored image, which has the red, green, and blue, three colors, that has 3 bytes, that is called 24 bits, and that 3 bytes combined together to form a single color. So these are the three colors. They are combined in such a manner that this forms a different color, and that gives the pixel, and that tells me what is the color of that particular pixel. There are other formats also like 16-bit for black and white, 48 bits for color format, but commonly that are being used, they are your 24 bits and your 8 bits. So this is the way we can zoom it and see every pixel of the image, and we can identify whether the color has been changed or not. But this is the way of identifying the pixels. But we cannot do it, and we do not do it for each image. Next, so please. So, as sir mentioned that it is a difficult challenge to keep the size as small, because whenever we are transferring the image, like I am sending that image to somebody else, what I am doing, I cannot send if the size of the image is very large. I have to keep the size in such a manner that can be transferred through internet, or I can transfer through a mail. Whenever I'm sending a mail, you people might have seen that whenever I am attaching a file in the mail, there is a limit of 25 MB or 25 something. So what it does, it sets a limit, and after that, if the size is more than that, it attaches in the drive. So why we what is the thing that is happening is that in the image, when we are transferring the file, we have to compress the image, or compress the data in such a form that if we can transfer it without any loss of information, or we can transfer it with the high speed, or we can transfer with the delay in data. So there are two types of compression that are there. That one is lossy compression, and another is your lossless compression. In lossy compression, we have a format that is called JPEG, and lossless we have GIF, BMP, PNG. Now, what is lossy? Lossy means when there is a loss of information, and lossless when we are trying to compress the data, but there is less loss of information, or we can say there is no loss of information. So in lossy compression, it tries to remove the redundancy, because as yesterday also Preeti ma'am told that there is in the image there are a lot of bits which are being repeated. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to remove those bits, and we are in such a manner that it is not being detectable by the normal human eye. As ऐसा नहीं है कि that we are removing whichever bit is redundant. We are removing in such a manner that it is not being detectable by the normal human eye, and we are not able to differentiate between the actual image and the final image. But in the lossless, we are not removing the image. What we are trying to do, we are converting the image into a mathematical formula, and then we are trying to transfer the information so that there is no loss of information from the lossless compression. Here lossy compression tries to save the space, because again we are removing the redundant bit and it is reducing a size to a very small, it is reducing my image size. And lossless compression here also file is compressed, but it is not saving that much space as the lossy compression is saving, because it tries to retain the information at the receiver side, and it keeps the information, does not remove the information. In the lossy compression, the originality of the image gets affected, because we are altering the information, we are reducing the redundant bits. So here the information is removed permanently and we cannot recover back to the original image. But in the lossless compression, the quality of the image is not affected to a very large level, and it can also, and here the normal image can be recovered. So coming back to this, so lossy and lossless. So I have in the lossy, we get the fairly good quality, and lossless also we get a much better quality. Next, please. So in the next slide, I have again taken my own image, which is showing the lossy and the lossless compression. On the left hand side, the image was of 7 MB, and when I use the lossy compression, it has reduced to 3 MB. But now the size of the image has been reduced to 3 MB. When I am trying to recover back, as you can see, when I'm trying to recover back, it cannot be recovered because lot of information has been removed, and the redundant bits that were there in the message were removed. But you can see, but the image quality has not been reduced to that level that I am able to find out the difference. I am able to differentiate between two images, although the quality has been reduced, but not to that level that I can differentiate between the two images. But I cannot recover back. But in the lossless, you can see the size has been reduced from 7 MB to 6 MB, and we can recover the back to the original image, as we have not removed the redundant bits, we have just converted into mathematical formula, and we can recover it to actual image. Next, sir, please. So can you people give me any example where do we use the lossy compression and where do we use the lossless compression? Because whenever we are sending the file, so normally we are sending the images. You people know that we can always the file whenever that is received at the receiver, and the size is not always the same. The size is different from the actual what was sent earlier. So the size all keeps that gets changed. So can you, anybody who can give me the real time example, where do we use the lossless compression and the lossy compression? I'll also tell you where do we use. Do you have any idea? Next, please. So this is, I have asked you, if you are sending the image through a WhatsApp, does it reduce the size? Whether it uses the lossy or the lossless? Can anybody answer? Whenever we are sending an image through a WhatsApp, it uses a compression technique, because it uses the lossy or the lossless. One of the sir is saying that it is lossless. No, it is not lossless. It is a lossy method that is being used. Yes, Santosha, you are right. It is a lossy method, because you can send it right now to anybody. You can see whatever the image that you are sending. The size reduces to such a small level, and whenever we are sending a image through a mail, it asks me to you might have tried by sending an image through your phone. It always gives me three options. You want to send the actual size, you want to send the large size, you want to send the small size, you want to send the medium size. There are different options that are being given to me, so I can select any of the option, and if I'm selecting the actual option, it uses the lossless compression technique. But when I'm using the WhatsApp method to send an image, it always reduces the size, and I will not be able to recover back to the original image because it has reduced the size. So you can try, any one of you can try, you can send an image, you can send the the size of the image will reduce, and same image you can try to upload on some other site, like for the Facebook. You will see there is a loss in the quality of the image, because whenever I ask somebody, like somebody has clicked my picture and I ask that person to please send my image, and that person, what people do, they send it through WhatsApp. And when I'm trying to apply on the Facebook, the quality that of the image is not that proper, and it shows me the blurred image, or the image which is not a proper clear image. So that actual image was not blurred, that was not a image which has the less quality, but when it was sent through WhatsApp, the quality of the image got reduced because it uses the lossy compression technique. But when then I use the another method and I ask people to send my image or my photographs through email, so that the quality does not reduce because it uses the lossless compression. Right. So till here, anybody has any doubt? Anybody who wants to ask something? So next please. So this is the example that I've shown. This is the other example that I've shown. So for the WhatsApp we are sending, and the size was 2 MB, and when the image that has reached to the destination, that is your 289 KB. So this is, so next please. Now coming to the, I told you that this was a cover, that we have selected the cover, the image, but now we have to select the method, with which method that we are going to hide the data. So one of the, again the image technography is further divided into your two domains, your spatial domain and your frequency domain. Next, sir, please. So the cover, we can use any cover, that is your image, your audio, your video, or anything. But that are again further divided into two methods, which are spatial domain techniques, or you can use your frequency domain techniques. As I told you, that special domain techniques are, we are hiding the message inside the intensity of the pixel. We are embedding the intensity inside the pixels, so that, because intensity of the we, as it was shown yesterday also in the class, in the yesterday's lecture, that there are the images which have some common intensities at different pixels. So we can misuse that part, and we can misuse that intensity, and we can hide the information, or secret message, or we can call it as payload in a term of cyber security. That payload, that is the message, the secret message inside the intensity. Then what we can do is update the pixels by inserting or substituting the bits. We can change the bits, we can insert the new bits, we can add the bits inside the bits which are already there in the image. Then on the basis of that, we can do the direct manipulation of the image. Then this technique, the spatial technique, uses the lossless method, lossless images. It is best suited for the methods where we do not want the message to be altered, or the compression should alter or might delete some message. So I am going to, in the spatial domain, we are going to use the lossless method, or where we do not want the message to be altered or to be compressed in such a form that it cannot be recovered. In the spatial domain, we need to be aware of the image format, whether it is your GIF, whether it is your PNG, JPG, and what is the format we need to know in the spatial domain. Next, sir, please. But in the frequency domain, what are the methods that we are applying in the frequency domain is, we are converting the image into some other form before embedding the message. In the spatial domain, we were embedding the message inside the image. But here, what we are doing, we are first transforming the image with the help of your Fourier transform, your discrete transform, your Walsh-Hadamard transform, your cosine transform. There are different transforms. We can first transform the image, and then we are embedding the message inside that image. So transformation and we are ensuring that message is hidden and in the less sensitive area, because the after the image has been converted or transformed, the image looks almost similar. They are all the pixels which are look similar, so we have to find out the less sensitive area so that it cannot be identified. It is independent of the image format, because we do not need to know whether it is JPEG, GIF, or any other format, because it has converted into frequency. So it has converted into, it has been transformed, so it will not be known that what the actual format was. So here we do not know, and here we can use the lossy compression technique, because the information can be lost, because we are using we are converting into a frequency domain. Next, sir. Now you can this is the one of the example where you can see that spatial domain. This is the Lena image. Everybody knows this is a very common image that is being normally used to transfer the information. So this is the Lena image, which is showing a spatial domain because this is the normal image that is visible to you. And here I might have embedded the content. But when I'm converting to the frequency domain, you can see it is a frequency which is shown. This is a dotted format, or the black and white format, or the some other format which is shown, which is showing that this is a frequency. So here I have transformed or that I have converted my spatial domain image into a frequency domain, which is not able, which where you can see that we do not even know the format, but on the left hand side we can know the format whether it is JPG or GIF, and right hand side we do not need to know whether what is the format of the this frequency domain, because it will give me always the same picture, similar picture. And on the left hand side it depends on the quality, whether the quality, what is the quality on the left hand side, according to that only the frequency domain will be converted, and after that I can embed the data inside the frequency domain. Next, sir. So we are going to do the spatial domain, because spatial domain we want to hide the data. So normally the frequency domain is not being used because we are transforming the information. We are converting into frequency domain, and then we are embedding the information. That normally pictures we do not send it on from the using the WhatsApp or the Gmail or any other thing. So whatever the way we are interacting, we want to hide that information in that form. So these are some of the techniques that are being used to hide the information, like for example LSB technique, that is your least significant bit, pellet your base technique, secure cover selection technique, and there are a number of other techniques which are being used for hiding the data inside the image. And other techniques, like for example, these are the links that I've shared. You can also click on these links and read the papers. These are some of the papers of IEEE Explore and IEEE transactions, which have shown how we can hide the data inside the images. Like for example, I've shown only one of the one of the image on the right hand side for the edge based. So it says that you can hide the data with the help of your intensity also. You can hide the data inside your noise also. You can hide the data inside the your redundant bits also, or in the least significant bits also. So this edge-based data embedding method says that you can hide inside the edges. Like on the right hand side, the picture shows that A figure, that is the actual image that is being shown, and on the right hand side, the B image, which shows that this is only showing the edges of that picture. This edges show that edges are marked, which shows that we can hide the images on the in the edges also. It's not necessary that you have to hide inside the other places, but you can see that we can hide inside the edges also. So edges also provide us the space to provide, because these are the edges which are visible, and we can hide the information inside these edges, which will also we not be able to detect, because there will be a small change in the edge which you will not be able to recognize in the actual image. So similar form, there are different number of methods, like random pixel embedding method, mapping pixel. So we are going to map the pixels. We are going to identify the intensity of the image. Like on the left hand side, you can see left image. There is a place where we have similar color on similar colors, and in which we can hide the data inside those intensity. Next, sir, please. So first technique that we are going to understand is your LSB substitution. LSB substitution is the most commonly, that is a spatial domain approach. This is the approach where we are going to hide the information inside the least significant bit, which will not allow anybody to see from the common eye, because I am going to hide the data into least significant bit. As the name suggests, there are as the name suggests, that we are going to hide the data inside the bits, but that has to be least significant bit. So I already told you that image is always consisted of bits, whether it is a black and white image or whether it is a colored image. All the images have bits. For black and white, like we have 8 bits. For color image, we have 24 bits, 3 bytes for red, blue, and green. So we are going to hide inside those bits. So what are the steps that we need to follow to convert the text or put inside the image? Next, sir, please. We can see that in LSB, what we are doing, we are again converting that secret message, whatever that secret message we want to convert, into bit stream that is in bits, that we everybody know that bits are in the form of 0 and 1, that is binary. So what we are going to do, we are going to substitute the bits. As you can see in the image that is there at the end, there are the last, that's the portion that is there in the black, that is your message that has to be inserted inside the image, and the upper portion which is that is there in the gray, it is showing the error. It is that is showing the pixels of the image. This is this is the image. What I have done, I have converted the image into pixels. Same cheese, or you can call it as bits. I've converted into a bits, and the message also has to be converted into bit stream. So what I'm doing here is, I had this is for black and white image. I am selecting one of the bit in the message, and I am replacing the bit of the image with my message bit. So what is happening here is that the intensity of the image is changing by +1 or by -1. Why we are calling it as +1 or -1? Because everybody, I've told you that bits are in the form of 0 and 1. So this is the least significant bit, which is representing 0 or 1. Because we are telling that this is 0, this is 2, this is 4, this is 8, this is 16, 32, that 64, then 128. So the last bit that we are going to replace is 0 or 1. So it can be 0 or it can be 1. So if I'm changing that text, changing that particular bit by message, it will be changed by the intensity of +1 or -1, that is your 0, or it will be your 1. So I can change it in this form with the help of this LSB. Similarly, next surface, in the colored image, you can see in the colored image we have three colors. One is your red, green, and blue. So I have converted my image 1 pixel into this 24, or you can call it as your 24-bit image, or you can call it as 3 bytes. So now again, the black portion is my message that I need to put inside the image, and the colors are representing my image. That is why 1 pixel that is being represented. And on the right hand side, you can see in the image that whatever the data that I want to put inside the image, I'm going to change again the least significant bit of the bits of the images. So the 3 bits, now you can understand with the help of this diagram that only 3 bits are being changed in the image, and the whole message was of 1 2 3 4 5 6. 6 bits message is there, the message of 6 bit, and I have replaced the 3 bits in 1 pixel, and the other 3 bits can be replaced in the other pixel of the image. So image can have number of pixels, there can be number of pixels in an image. I am just for sending my message of 6 bits, I am replacing 3 bits of 1 pixel and the 3 bits of the another pixel. So the least significant bits are being replaced with the help of this message. I'll just show you the demonstration of this method also. Next, sir, please. So if, for example, I have a 24-bit image, so we can store 3 bits in a pixel. Just as I've told you that we are storing 3 bits in a single pixel, we are able to store 3 bits. So if my image size is 800 into 600 pixels, I will be able to store approximately 175 KB of my data. So I'll be able to embed my data inside my image of approximately 175. That will depend on the size of the image or the pixels of the how many pixels are there in the image. So with the help of this, I can identify, I can add the and can change the least significant bit of my image. So now on the left hand side and the right hand side, these are two different images. That was left was the cover image, and last one is your stego image, which is the final image. So there are differences. If I have seen the differences, but you will not be able to find, because I know what was the actual image and what the changes have been made in the image. But from the normal user or by the normal user, nobody will be able to identify what is the difference between the images. Next, sir, please. So now coming on to the example of the LSB, I'll just demonstrate how we can change the we can make the changes in the LSB. So let's take an example of secret message. I have a secret message called A. I have a secret message A, and I have an image which has these 3 pixels. This is the pixel, the 3 pixel. I am taking only 3 pixels because A I am going to represent into a form of 8 bits, and I've taken 3 pixels of an image. I'll just show you which 3 pixels I have taken. So I've selected the 3 pixels with the same intensity. You can see that I have selected the pixels with having the same values, if you can see, for the 8 bits. So it means that my image have the 3 pixels which are having the same intensity, so I can misuse that so that there are change, a small change will not be able to not be identified. Next sir, please. So what we are going to do here is we are going to change the content. We'll have to convert the A, that is my message, into the bits. I have to convert. How will convert? How that message will be converted? We'll be taking the ASCII value of an A message. ASCII value of an A message is 65, and then 65 can be converted into a bits. That is your 8 bits, or you can call it as a binary message. I've converted this A into a binary message, which is coming out to be 0, 1, 5 zeros and 1. And the image pixels, which you can see that earlier I told you that these are the 3 pixels that I've taken. So what are the values for these pixels? These are the values that 248, 201 and 3. Again, the 3 pixels are all same, so all the pixels are having the same value. 248, 201 and 3. Next slide, please. So you can see here that I have just see, I didn't know what exactly the color that was formed. So I took I took the link from the internet with the help of which I've converted the RGB color to the actual color. So I have added these values: 248 in the red, green I've added 201, and with the blue I've added 3, which was the actual value in the previous image. So now so please, can you just reverse the slide, the last slide? Can you come back to the last slide? Yes, sir. So this was, I'll just repeat this thing for you. So this was the image. I've selected 3 pixels from an image, which pixel 1, pixel 2, and pixel 3. So pixel 1 is this value. This is the pixels that I've selected from the image, and I've converted that part into a binary value, or you can call it as that I've converted into 8 bits. So this is for red, this is for green, and this is for blue. I've colored those content, and then I've converted back into the normal number just to explain you. Otherwise, we don't need to convert it. Just to explain you, I've converted back into the normal numbers, which is coming out red wala part, that is coming out to 248. Then green wala part is coming out to be 201, and the blue part is coming out to be 3. After you'll convert this value to the normal decimal value, this will come out to be 248, 201 and 3. So all the pixels are same. 3 pixels I've selected, these have same values. So all the values will be same. That is 248, 201 and 3. So these 3 pixels have the same intensity, but I don't know what actual the color is. Just to understand what the actual color is and how you can find out what the color was, if you don't know what exactly the color is, you can just type on the internet that RGB color converter, and you can write the number, whatever the 3 numbers that you're getting out of this pixels. So you can write these 3 numbers and you can see what the actual color is. So next, please. So what I've done is I've selected 248, 201 and 3. So now after 248, 201 and 3, this has given me some hexadecimal value, which is coming out to be F8C903. I'm not able to share my screen. Otherwise, I would have shown you that whenever you are converting into a color, whenever you are converting that color, you can just like whenever you are trying to paint, whenever you are trying to add an image to your system, so you can add a color to it by using the upper command that is there in your Word format or in the PPT, that you want to change the color. If you want to change the color, you can add this hexadecimal value. You can add this hexadecimal value, it will give you this color. So it has shown me that if I am selecting this RGB, I am getting this color. So actual intensity or actual color that was selected from an image was this color which I selected, and now I am going to add the data inside this image. So this was the color, or this was the intensity in which I am going to change the least significant bit. I am going to add the secret data, which is A, inside this image. Next, sir, please. So you can see in the last line, there is a figure, or there's a color, 3 colors that are there. One which is coming out to be, this is the hexadecimal value which I've shown you in the last slide, that there was a number that was coming out to be F8C903, F8C903 and F8C903. Why I've repeated 3 times? Because these are 3 pixels. This is first pixel, this is second, and this is your third pixel. So all the pixels were same, so that's why the value is coming out to be same, and this is the color in which I have to hide my secret data A. So this is the image, or this is the part of image that I've selected to hide my secret data A inside it. Anybody who has doubt till now? Anybody who wants to ask anything till here. Is it clear to everyone? So I'm giving you 2 minutes if you want to ask anything. If anything that is not being clear to you people, you can ask. You can write in the chat box, or you can unmute your mic, or you can ask. Okay, great. Thank you, sir. So, so this is the color. These are the 3 pixels that I've selected. Just a recap. These are the 3 pixels of a color. I've applied a reverse engineering here. I've shown you the back process. I can show you the right process, front process also, forward engineering also. That these were the 3 colors that I selected, but I just wanted to show how these pixels are being converted into bits, how you manually do it in your PPT or in your Word format. How do you convert your color? So that's why I've applied the reverse engineering. So these were the 3 pixels that I've selected from an image, and when I saw that I've converted back into the bits, these were the data in which I have to embed my secret message, which is known as A. Yes, sir. Next, please. So the A message, now converting the A message, as we have seen that this is coming out to be 65, which is coming out to be 0, 1, 5 zeros and 1. So now what I have to do, I have to change the least significant bit, because this is the LSB substitution. So I have to change the least significant bit. These were the pixels earlier. Now whatever that is highlighted in gray, that is the message that I am embedding in the original image. Like you can see, the A first bit is your 0, which is embedded in pixel 1. That is your first bit, which is highlighted with gray, and the size of the gray last 0 is little big. So this is the data that I've embedded here. Then the one next in the A character, there is next bit is your 1, which is embedded in the green color. I've embedded the last bit as 1. Then the next bit in the A is 0, which is embedded in the blue, first pixel blue, in the last least significant bit, which is in the black. Why I have highlighted as black and gray? Because this was the actual data, which whatever that part is in the gray, that was the actual data. There is no change in the content. That content or the pixel has not been changed, or that 1 byte has not been changed, because when this first pixel that was in the red was 248, and still it is 248 because I am embedding a 0 bit here, and this 0 bit is not 0 bit was already there in this first pixel. So there is no change in the first byte. In the green color also, there is no change in the first in this byte, but in the blue color, if you can see in the first pixel, there is a change, that there was number 1, now it has been replaced by bit 0. So I told you that there will be a change of +1, or there will be a change in the intensity by -1. So there is a change of -1 here, and it has converted to a 0. The 1 has been converted to 0, so it has been reduced to, the bit has been reduced from 3 to 2. 3 to 2 means the value was 3 when I'm converting into a form of decimal. Now the value of 1 has been changed to 0. So this, if I convert this back, the blue color of the pixel 1, if I convert it back, the value comes out to be 2. Similar manner, if I talk about pixel 2, the next bit of an A character is 0. Again, I'm changing it. So again, it remains same. Then 0, the pixel, earlier pixel was, there was 1. Now it has been changed to 0. So content again has been reduced to -1 intensity. The next one, again, here it was 1, and it has been changed to 0 in the view part. And then talking about pixel 3, there is no change in the first byte, red color. There is no change in the second byte, that is your green color, and the message is over. I don't need to change anything in the blue byte of the pixel 3, because message was of 8 bits, and it has been added to the image. So now there is a small change. If I can see, only 3 bits have been changed in the 3 pixel. If I talk about 1 pixel, there is only single bit change. If I talk about pixel 2, there are 2 bits change, and in pixel 3, there is no change in the image in that pixel or in that intensity. So if I'm adding a text to a pixel, there is a very small or a minute change in the pixel. If you can see, the value has been changed to 3 to 2, and this value of 201 has been changed to 200, and this value has been changed from 3 to 2. So only a 1 bit change in first pixel, 2 bit change in second pixel and there is no change in the third pixel. So that means that I am able to only make only 3-bit changes in that image. Next, sir, please. So you can see on the right hand side, I have again converted back. After the change in the bits, I have again converted back into the decimal value, which is coming out to be 248, 201, and 2. Earlier it was 248, 201, and 3. And in the second pixel, it is coming out to be 248, 202. Earlier it was 248, 201, and 3. So there is a 2-bit change, that is 201 here and 3. And last one is same as it is. There is no change, that is 248, 201, and 3. So you can see in the slide at the last the color is coming out to be 48C, the hexadecimal value. When I have converted with the RGB converter, it is showing me that there is a minute difference. If you can see it clearly, the first one is representing as F8C902. Next one is F8802, and the actual image, actual color was the last pixel has not been changed, so it remains to be same. So it is F8C903. So there is a small change, only a minute change, which will not help me to identify what the whether the message has been embedded in this image or not. Next slide, sir. So in the next slide, you can compare both the data. The left side is your cover medium and right side is your stego image. I've highlighted what exactly the changes there in the image, but in the color intensity, you will not be able to identify what the actual color has been changed or not. So with the help of the human eye or human visual system, we'll not be able to identify whether there is a color change in the system, in the color change in the image or not. So LSB technique is one of the technique which is the best technique which is being used by people nowadays, now also, and in the earlier phases also. The modifications have been done to LSB. There are number of methods that have been added. There are number of things that have been added to make it more secure and more undetectable. So there are things that have been added. The techniques have been defined, and it has been decided that which part of the image the LSB technique will be applied. Like I told you that you can do it for the noise, you can do it for the edges, or you can do it randomly. You can select the part randomly and you can do it. So this is the portion where you can see. Next, sir, please. So this was the actual image from where I've taken the intensity. Similarly, you can do it for, this is the image which where I've divided the whole image into pixels, and I have selected the 3 pixels from here, and I have converted into some other value, and I've hidden the A message inside that image. So this was the LSB substitution. So can anybody tell me why only LSB, why not MSB? Why not MSB? We can take the most significant bit also. Why not? Why we are working on the least significant bit only? Anybody who can answer? I would love to hear it from you people. We can use it for MSB also. Why MSB is not being used? Only LSB is being used. Next slide, sir. So this was the question for you people. Why we are using LSB, not MSB? Next, please, sir. So MSB is not being used. With the help of this diagram, you can see that MSB is your most significant bit, which comes out to be value. If I divide my whole image or 1 pixel into 8 bits, you can see the left 4 bits are for your MSB and the right 4 bits are for your least significant bits. So if I am making any change to the least significant, that is your 0, there will be a change of 1 or 0. That means -1 or +1. If I change last 2 significance bit, there will be a change from 2, there will be a change to 3, or there will be a change to 1. Well, as in they are the value that will, if I combine the last 2 significant bits, there will be a value called 2 or 3. So I am only making the changes to 2 bits. But when I am talking about the most significant bits, the value of the 6th bit is your 64 bits. Value of the 7th bit is your 128 bits. Value of your 5th one is 32 bits. So what is this happening? I am changing so many bits for the changing the MSB. So for changing MSB, I will have to change your 128 bits. That means there will be a change of 1 plus minus 128 or plus minus 64 plus minus 32 or plus minus your 16. So if I am changing so many bits in the image, there will be a discrete distortion. There will be and the normal human eye will be able to detect what the actual image has been changed or not. So there will be more distortion, and the quality of the image will be reduced. So if I want that it should not be recognized and there should be less distortion, I need to change only least significant bits. I can change the least significant, and now earlier the method that I told you, I was changing only one least significant bit. You can change 2 also, you can change 3 also. As the number of bits that will keep on increasing, the the distortion will keep on increasing. So you have to take care with that how many bits you need to change and how many how much data that you need to hide in the least significant bit, so that it should not be, the image should not be distorted or the quality of the image should not be reduced. Next, sir, please. So LSB, again, Sandeep sir, I just want to ask you one thing. Can I extend this session or should I take it in the next session, please?
Madam, as you required, like it is up to
So
you now.
okay.
As the next session is also yours, so
Yeah, that's why I'm
if
asking
we can
because there
break,
was
if we can have a if we have a break of 5 to 10 minutes.
so we can have a break of 10 minutes so that they can also relax. After 2 slides, I'll just give the break after 2 or 3 slides.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
So LSP, okay, thank you. So the LSP is basically that what we are doing, that we are selecting the random noise. So these are the formats in which we are using that GIF or BMP, and LSB helps for the lossless compression. It is preferred because it does the lossless compression. It is offered by lossless compression, so there is no loss of information, and the original pixels are not affected that much. Next, sir, please. So what are the advantages? Again, there is the invisibility, there is the storage of high storage of payload or the message, and there will be a less distortion with the help of your LSP technique, and there will be overall change of +1 and -1. Next up, so LSB substitution. I think somebody's mic is not mute. I request all of you to please mute your mic. Yeah, thank you, please. So LSB substitution is basically what we are trying to do. We are hiding the data inside M into N pixels. So this is one of the paper that I've highlighted, Zhang et al. Paper that was there in 2006. It tells us that M into N pixels amount of data can be hidden inside a image. That one bit can be hidden inside the one pixel. Next, sir, please. So there are extension of these methods. There are a number of tools that are used in LSP substitution tools. There are such as your S tool, your Stegnos, your Stegodos. So I'll be showing you the demonstration on these tools also. And next slide, sir. So there is another method that is the extension of your LSB, where what we are doing, we are changing the 2 bits, but not in all the 3 channels. That 3 channels means your red, blue, and green. I will only be adding the content or the my data that needs to be hidden in channel 1 or channel 2, and that will be indicated in the channel 3, because how will the receiver get to know whether the message has been received at the receiver end or not? So with the help of this indicator, which are the bits that will be represented in the 3rd channel, that will represent whether the data is there or not, because I am sending 100 of pics. The other side of the person should know by seeing the pic or by seeing the pixels or by seeing the channel which I've selected, that whether the data is hidden in this image or not. So like 00, there will be no hidden data. There is no hidden data in channel 1 and channel 2. 01 shows that wherever the 1 is there, it shows that there is some data that has been hidden. So 11 shows that data has been hidden in channel 1 and it has been hidden in channel 2 also. Next slide. So for example, this you can see there have 3 channels. One is your R, G, and B, that is your red color, green, and blue. First, this is the red color shows me that this is the pixel of the image, first pixel of the image. This is the first pixel of the green image, and this is the first pixel of the blue image. So I have to embed the data of 1101. This is the data that I need to embed. But I am not going to embed in all the channels. I am going to select one channel which is going to indicate that there is some message inside this image or there is no message inside this image. So channel B, that is your red color, your blue one has been selected as a channel indicator, which is showing me 1 1. The last 2 bits which are showing me 1 1, which means 1 means the data has been hidden in channel red, and the next one which is there in the B channel, which is showing that there is a data that has been hidden in channel G also, that is in the green. And now if I come to channel R, which is showing last 2 bits, which has embedded the data inside this first red color, and the channel green also, you can see there are last 2 bits, 0 1, which is showing the data has been embedded inside this channel green. So here, this is the extension of least significant bit substitution method, which is showing that one of the channel, it can also be called as a key, which is showing that message is embedded in the image or not. So these are some of the methods which help us to identify whether the image contains the data or image does not contain the data. So people have done a lot of research on least significant bit, and they have extended this method into number of methods. So I'll be taking forward this session after 10. We can take a 10 minutes break, and I'll extend this session, and I'll try to reconnect and share my screen because we have to do the hands-on method. If somebody have the virtual machine or Kali Linux machine, they can also switch it on and they can do it side by side so that it will be good for you people and you can also practice. Thank you, sir. So we'll be reconnecting back after 10 minutes.
Yes, thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
And